Okay, thank you. So our chief guest is also here. We want to start the program now. Thank you, everyone. I would like to welcome you all in our today's BEAWorld webinar session 31. Our today's topic is reverse engineering of components to reduce carbon emission by refurbishing components. So our today's chief guest, he already introduced, Engineer Monirujjaman Sarkar, Chairman IEB, UAE chapter, and advisor of BEAWorld. Our session, today's session chairman, Engineer Rafiqul Islam Talukder, he is head of BEAWorld webinar session, chief of editorial board, Synergy magazine, advisor BEAWorld, and vice chairman of IB UAE overseas chapter, and also occupational safety board Bangladesh IEB vice chairman. So our today's keynote speaker, Engineer Chilamparasan Chinnapandi. Let me introduce him first. Engineer Chilam is an experienced professional with over a decade of expertise in providing wire and tear solution, and currently serving as a territory manager at Castolin Eutectic, UAE. He born in southern part of India. He is a mechanical engineer, graduated from Anna University, Chennai, India in 2007. He started his professional career as a project officer in the agriculture industry and later joined in a high-tech company, Larsen and Toubro Limited, India. His extensive knowledge and experience span multiple sectors, including oil and gas, steel, aluminium, cement, waste to energy, as well as marine sector. We are extremely fortunate to have him in our today's BEAWorld webinar. Let's welcome Engineer Chilam. Please take the floor.
Thank you so much, sir, for the brief and great introduction, and welcome you all for this session. And thank you so much for your valuable time, especially spending, I know, the time of in Bangladesh, especially almost now 10 o'clock. Still, people are eager to know about this products and services, and it is going to help the environmental as well. So I could see that a lot of enthusiastic people, and they are looking forward to work towards the global requirement of the environmental and reducing the carbon emission and the CO2 footprint. And thank you so much, Mr. Easir, for this great opportunity, and Mr. Rafiqul Islam, as well as welcome Mr. Monirujjaman Sarkar for this as a chief guest. So I'd like to introduce our Castolin. Before that, I'd like to say that, okay, the objective of this meeting is to reduce the carbon emission and reduce the carbon footprint by doing the reverse engineering of the component subjected to wear and tear solutions. So how is it possible to do that? We'll just see it in the upcoming slides. So in terms of the carbon emission, you could see the energy being utilized 73% in transportations and energy in the industries and other industries, especially the residential buildings and commercials. So our focus, including the agriculture and waste, which is industries, cement and chemical industries, which is inevitable on this in this today's world, because it's a fast growing world, and we are forced to follow all this things are going on in the world. But the thing is, we need to be very responsible to see the possibilities, where and which possibilities of reducing our CO2 emission and carbon footprint to not only for us, for our future generation as well. So what is happening with the CO2 emission? How is it going to affect in terms of the global? So it's affecting the impacts and consequences of CO2 emission, which is rising the global temperature. Especially people aware who is already living in Middle East, what is the current scenario this year? It has started the summer very early, and we feel that when we go out, we feel that we are in the furnace. And every year on year, it is going to increase, obviously. But from our part of the time, and how we are able to reduce CO2 emission, and especially for the industrial growth, and that is what our look in this. So what is happening with the rise of global temperature, the shrinking of the water supplies, and geographical changes, and changes in the weather patterns, and changes in the food supplies, and acid rain, and increase the sea level. So all these are happening because of the CO2 emission, which is happening currently. So I'm not the expert of the environmental, but we are into the maintenance and repair, by which how we can help the world work together. That is what our objective today. So how Castolin can give you the sustainability? The welding can give you a sustainability by technical systems and efforts and offset against the consumption of the resources and quality. So in general, if there is any components is breakdown or anything worn out, what generally people does, okay, no need to do any kind of repairing, we'll just go for the replacement. So by which what is happening, you need to get new inventory. At the same time, the lead time will be more, as well as the carbon emission. When they're manufacturing a new component, obviously there will be a lot of electricity and power, in terms of the castings and the raw material being utilized. So we are not against that to go for the new component. We are trying to wherever possible, we are trying to utilize the resources to refurbish or the reclamation of the component, so that we can try to utilize the same component to enhance the life of the components. So in terms of the Castolin, it has started in 1906 in Switzerland, and we are the company who started the welding of cast iron can be weldable to the weld. So before that, what they do, if there is any cast iron parts, it's got broken or anything happened, what they do, they'll just take it and they will do the recastings. But every time it's not possible. So Castolin is the company who invented that it can be repairable with our specialized bracing alloys. So that's
Sorry, Chilam, your voice is broken. Sometimes your voice is broken. Please check your microphone. Yeah, sometimes it's broken your voice.
Okay. Are you able to hear me, sir, now?
It's clear.
Now okay.
Okay.
Now it's clear.
Okay, great. So in terms of the cast iron, that's how it started in the world. So we are the one who invented the cast iron can be repairable to the world. That's how it started. Now we have the products and solutions where it can be repaired any type of unknown steel, dissimilar joinings, and to repairing or refurbishing of the component by welding, thermal spray coating, ceramic coatings, or in terms of all the wear and tear solutions. So almost we have the 120 year of legacy, and now we have a head office in Germany. So we have almost 1,600 plus employees, 10 supply centers, and 22 service centers, and we have 6 regional offices. I'll just go through this. And our mission of the 100 years old company is to give the solutions to the customers where they are having the challenges of wear and tear with welding, bracing, coatings to enhance the life of the component. Even now, the people are talking about the carbon footprint, but the Castolin have started way back where we're trying to do the reclamation of the components to reduce the carbon footprint very long. And now we are having the program called ESG, Environmental Social Governance, where we are trying to reduce the transportation of the components or the raw material to around the world. We are trying to reduce it by transportation of around the world wherever possible, so that it can be reduced to 40 to 50% of the carbon footprint by doing things very effectively. So, as we mentioned, we are fighting against global warming, especially the Castolin Eutectic, by reducing the doing the refurbishment of the component. At the same time, sustainability, and not just any companies doing the profitability and all this, we are having a responsibility to keep this global to the next generations. So that is very, very important. That's why we are trying to do wherever possible to reduce the carbon emission and CO2 footprint, to give this kind of society the same how we are living to the next generation. That is also one of our responsibility what we have. In terms of Amicia is Africa, Middle East, Southeast Asia. It's Castolin is a global company, but this Amicia being handled by our Dubai office. From here, we are handling complete the red mark presence countries currently. So in terms of the products and services, we are into welding, coating, welding equipment we manufacture, and we manufacture the wear plates, weld-clad pipes, where the transportation of the chutes, hoppers are being handled. For example, if you're using the normal pipe, carbon steel pipe, for the material transportation, or the limestone or clinker, or any of the aggregates, or the iron ore.
Your voice is cutting.
My voice is cutting again?
Chilamparasan, your voice is cutting. Voice is cutting. Voice is not continuous. So It is really something disturbing to audience. Can you please correct your microphone system? Please check.
I can hear. Is it because of internet problem in your location? Anyone?
Everyone able to hear me, sir, properly?
I'm also hearing very clearly, actually.
Okay.
Okay.
I can.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, okay, then go.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Okay, okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's okay, okay. Then go
Okay.
ahead. Okay.
Okay. So by just instead of using a carbon steel where the material is being transported or choose hoppers, which is giving a 6 months life. For example, when we are using our caster tube or welded CDP, casted diamond plates, you'll be able to increase the life up to 10%, 10 times. If you're using a hot axe plate and if you're using our product, and it obviously it's going to be the same mass and it's going to be the same kind of thicknesses, you'll be able to increase the life up to 4 to 5 times. If you are using a hot axe or similar, you should not use hot axe. You can consider as a QNT, tempering and quenching plate. If you're using our product, it can give you up to 4 to 5 times better life. For this, how you'll be able to use the same component for the long years and reduce the downtime. At the same time, availability of the component and availability of the utilizing your manpower, some of the other applications or requirement. And we are into the wear resistant coatings. The wear resistant coating can be corrosion, erosion, abrasion with the high temperatures. So it can be utilized on the vessels where acidic conditions or highly sulfuric acid or any of the other areas, seawater or the highly salt content. All these we have the solutions for the high temp corrosion coatings. And the corrosion can be coating can be a thermal spray or like a metal spray, or it can be a ceramic coating. Also, all the combination of these products. So based on the applications or the severity, we can give you the customized solutions. As well as we have the welding services at site and our facility, where the component cannot be taken out for the welding at site, outside workshop. We can come, our team can travel to your facility. They can come and do the welding repair at site, like kill and tire repair, vertical rolling mills, VRM, tire and table rebuilding, and any of the component, especially cast iron or very critical welding components where you are facing a problem of non-availability because of the crack. Our team can come because we are specialists in cast iron repair. Our team can come and do the root analysis, and we can provide you the complete method statement, and they can do the job at site day and night basis to complete it. And some of the times you will not have the equipment available or the lead time of the any spares. So we have to force to repair the component within stipulated time to run the plant, where we are expert into this kind of maintenance and repair. Also, we supplying the castings for the high temperature and wear resistant. The high temperature can be up to 1000 degrees. If you have any kind of castings, we have 3D scanning equipment. We can come and take the dimensions. Even if you don't have any drawings, we can regenerate the drawing by 3D scanning. And we can take all the compositions. We'll be able to regenerate, produce the component which is having a high temperature, wear resistant, or any of the other wear phenomena applications. Also, we are into thermal insulations coatings, especially for the replacing the cladding, thermal cladding outside where you are using for the thermal conductivity. Our product can be replaceable for the traditional thermal conductivity. We have the new technology where it can completely eliminate the traditional thermal insulations where it is not good for the health. So that can be avoided by doing a coating itself, where it can keep the temperature within the system. At the same time, it can give you the life up to 10 years. We'll be able to provide the warranty as long as we are going to do the job. Also, you can avoid corrosion under insulation, CUI. Coating also we do. And we have the refractories coatings, tube armor coatings, and reformer tube coatings. So if you have come across anything or if you're interested, we can discuss later on this particular products and services. So how Castolin can help reverse engineering? For example, some of the critical component you are having the problem of wear and tear, we can give you 500%, which means 5 times or 6 times or 3 times. We'll be able to reuse the product by doing welding, coating, or any other methods. So it can reduce your maintenance cost. and it can enhance the plant performance, and it can increase the working capacity, and it can reduce the downtime. All this possible by doing the reclamation or refurbishment of the component. Also, we conduct the eco test in our facility as long as any of the companies wanted to have the eco test. Like what is the, for example, if you're taking one job, which is refurbishing every 6 months, which is $1,000, and with our products and services, we can add up the maintenance cost of 500 or 300, and is going to give a life of 2 years to 2.5 years, which means you are going to invest in particular amount, and you'll be able to get results by doing the maintenance and repair with our products. So if you're using a normal traditional repairing systems or with the Castolin, it is going to give you 3 to 4 times better life. So for example, this particular applications where they have taken the gantry crane wheel for any of the ports or the any of the steel plants, where they'll be using a crane wheels which is getting wear out every monthly basis, for example, and they have to take it out. It has to be they have to bypass, or they have to take outrages, they have to dismantle, remove it. That cost itself huge actually, and you have to keep anytime stock of the component. All this together, for example, this particular area where with the traditional repairing systems, they are spending almost €22,000, where with Castolin will be able to give you the life of 3 to 4 times as compared with traditional or conventional repairing, where you will be able to save up to €15,000. And with the Castolin, the availability of the equipment will be longer. And not only that, this is commercial point of view. Not only that, when you have this kind of savings for the company or organization, not only are giving some kind of benefits to the organization, also to your environment. How? Because when you do the repairing or you are going to buy the new component, which means you are investing the same amount of original component. At the same time, they have to use energy, raw material from somewhere, and the life, for example, the energy calculations factors we have taken for these particular applications, they have to use the energy of 26.54 megawatt hour, and the price of megawatt hour in France or Spain, it's €180. So the total savings of energy itself €4,778. At the same time, by doing the refurbishment, the annual CO2 emission reduction would be 4.74 tons. This is a huge saving, which is we won't be able to understand from that point of view, but it is going to give you this kind of savings to the world or the global for the environment as well. So this is the indirect support we are going to give for the environment. And also, we are moving forward for the upcoming hot facing, where the general hot facing, where you wanted to have, where you have the wear and tear problems with the abrasion, erosion, in general, including all Castolin or any other companies being used to chromium and other things. Now we are coming up with a new product which doesn't have chromium or nickel, especially for the hot facing, the welding. When you do the welding, obviously there'll be a smokes generated on the weld pool. Okay, so that will obviously affects the welders and among the other people. Almost 11 million workers are there as a welding job. At the same time, there will be a lot of other people around welders, including supervisors, managers, helpers, altogether 110 million people they're estimating. So they will be also be affecting by welding fumes. So when they do the hot facing, so for the wear resistant, if there is any chromium or nickel in say in this one, there is a chances of having chromium 4 presence. So that will create the problems in the lung cancer and so many other problems over a period of time for the welders. So we are also responsible to understand that how we can avoid. We have come up with a new product called Safeguard 700 and Safeguard 600 that can replace the traditional super alloys, where the carbon footprint can be 24.91 in normal product when they're using this one. And when they're using our product, the carbon footprint can be saving, like can be reduced by doing our product. Similarly, the resources leakages where they're taking raw material, the transportation, all this together, they'll be able to get much better reduction in terms of the carbon footprint and shipping and logistics and natural resources. So by which what is happening, we are able to reduce the carbon footprint and we are reusing the components again, and at the end we'll be able to recycle it. Now waste to energy plant and so many other things they are coming, and it has come already. And even now all the cement plant other areas, they are using alternative fuel like wood and tires and all this, they are using as alternative fuel to reduce this kind of landfill, and they are using it for supporting the environment. So these are all we are talking about in general. Now we are going to come up with some kind of solutions how it can correlate to your applications currently. So far, is it clear, sir? Any doubts, please ask.
Yeah, I have a question, Mr. Chilamparasan.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you told this refurbishment, where your workshop in UAE you have, right?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Or you send outside of UAE?
Both are available. Like example, in each and every countries, we either will have the workshop or we'll have the technology know-how partners.
I see.
So we'll be able to almost we are in the presence of 100 plus countries available globally. Either
UAE have a workshop.
Yes, we have the robotic system in UAE, and we have the specialized workshop where we do the welding overlay of inconel stellite, and we do the ceramic coatings. We have the complete setup in UAE.
I see. Where it is, in Dubai or Abu Dhabi?
Dubai, Dubai, Jebel Ali Free Zone.
We can continue the question session
Thank
later.
you.
Please continue the presentation first, and then we will talk.
Okay.
Yeah,
You will have 20 minutes more. Please continue the presentation first.
Okay. Okay. Right. Okay. So this is one of the classic examples. We are going to talk about some of the products so that people, the process industries people will be able to correlate this application into this your current problems what you're facing, so that can help. So this is one of the caster and pump that got completely damaged here. You can see that condition of the pump. So by looking at it, people will just reject, okay, it cannot be usable, just throw it out and we'll go for the new component. But we have the other plans. Our product and services with the metal spray will be able to repair this component. So we especially having the nickel powders that can be used for the cast iron applications. This will be sprayed, and it has it's like a metallurgical bonding. It's similar to welding, but it's a metal fusion technology. We have our own range of spray equipment and powders, and we can provide you the training to your team itself. Either we can do the job, or if you have similar jobs lot, you wanted to train your team, it is possible. We have trained engineers who can give you the trainings at customer site. So after this job, this is the result. After refurbishment. Similarly, you can see one of the other pump which is heavily damaged, and you can see the complete hole punctures on the back of the pump. This has been slowly built up to the shape, and it can be reusable. The advantage is it is not just any kind of metal putties where you will not have any kind of strengthening issues. This is the metallurgical bonding. This will become part and parcel of the equipment itself or the component itself. And we are specialist in vessel, tower, or strip column coatings, especially for the corrosion and erosion resistance, especially for the fertilizers, oil and gas, steel, or even the bag house of the cement industries. We have the specialized coatings for corrosion and erosion at even the high temperature. This is one of the job being done by our team in Saudi Aramco, where there's a stripper column of the amine vessels. So what is happening in general, in terms of any vessels, it's very difficult for any organization or any OEM or designers to go with the complete component with specialized material like monal or inconal or any of the hastolite. This is very difficult because the cost of the equipment will go exorbitantly very high. So what they do, they'll go for the carbon steel. But the problem with the carbon steel, over a period of time, it will get corroded, eroded, and pittings will start, and obviously it will start losing the original thickness. Then you forced to change the complete vessel. This is going to be a huge cost and the time and so many non-availability of the plant and so many things. So what we do, Castolin, we do the coating of inconal or stellite or hastolite or any of the wear resistant spray coating on the vessels to bring to that what is the characteristics required to maintain the parameters of their vessels. For example, the vessels have required erosion and corrosion at a high temperature of 650 degrees. We have the coating. The coating can sustain this kind of erosion corrosion also, and we can give the warranty up to 5 years. So we need to study on this application, and we can produce the techno commercial offers, and we'll be able to execute the job at site. So one of the advantage what Castolin is having, we are not just buying equipment from somebody, not buying wires or the material consumable from somebody. We are having our own range of equipment, and we are having our own range of powders, wires, electrodes, bracing alloys, and we have the skilled manpower globally. So they will go and they will execute the job at site. So this was a condition of the component as open condition where the existing coating has been damaged. We have done the inspections. We had a joint inspection with the customer and removal of existing coating and profile being maintained, because we need to completely remove the existing coating because it got pitting and corroded, damaged. So we need to remove the complete coating, and we need to do the blasting to avoid any kind of moisture contents, and the profile to be maintained before spray. And we have done the thermal spray coatings with, we call it high velocity thermal spray, HVTS process, that will be sprayed on the vessels, so it can avoid corrosion, erosion, all this. But general in HVTS process or any in general process, what happens, there will be a porosities after the spray up to 5% to 10%. So that has to be sealed before it is going for the operations. So we have the specialized sealant. We'll be using a specialized sealant, high temperature sealant being used to ensure that it will be sealed complete porosities. We call it densification also. That will be completely sealed. At the same time, the further coating also, inner coat ULX sealant will be working as a corrosion resistant as well. So the matte finish of the coating will be smoothened. At the same time, it will be completely sealed. And some of the areas where the problem with pipe ID, where you cannot do any claddings, we have specialized tungsten carbide spray, which can be done minimum of 3 inches. Where you are facing a problem of erosion or corrosion or any fine particles passing through that, it is getting highly eroded. We have excellent corrosion coatings or erosion coatings, abrasion coatings with the tungsten carbide we do with our HVTS technology. So that can extend the life from 9 months to 12 months to 30 months minimum. So what is happening in terms of the welding industry? We are also in welding, and there are so many other companies also in the weldings, but we are specialists in M&R, maintenance and repair, where in other companies, they are focusing more on AWS spec, where it comes under 7018, 301, 319, 312, all these, but we won't talk about that kind of languages. We will be only talk about based on the applications. For example, the cast iron will be having almost 15 to 20 different electrodes being used, because over a period of time, the product in the services, it will become fatigue, and it has a stress induced, heat affected, so many other problems must have come across. So normal electrode will not work again. We have this high alloyed electrode product, which can give you the better strength, low heat input to the base material, so that it can bring back to the original shape. At the same time, the life will be enhanced. So in terms of the life enhancement of the component with maintenance and repair, it can increase your productivity, at the same time reduce like cost, like it can increase the costing savings also. So in terms of the validity and reliability, you will have the validity and reliable, like not valid, and another things valid but not reliable. But you have to focus, or we need to focus on valid and reliable, so that we can achieve what is needed for the organization. So what it meant is, the reliability of the product should be higher. What you need to understand that, okay, these products and services will give you better reliability, so it can give you the highest safety measures. So the proven technology, almost we have 70,000 applications being used globally and recorded. If you talk about any gearbox or any of the gear teeth welding, we have a 50 to hundreds of applications being done, and it has recorded globally, so that anything we come across, we have the record that, okay, this has been done already, reliable, already people have done this kind of job, and we have the method statement for this, and we'll be able to utilize it. So this can give you the some kind of confidence to you to talk to the management, and it can give you the better results. So you have to go with the better organization who can give you this kind of reliability, and it can come to the safety measures as well. This is one of the very unique applications where it called bath lead, where the dub is having a cryolite process where the temperature will be 750 plus. But what happens? The dub is having a refractories, but the top lid doesn't have any kind of refractories because of the weight. It has to lid up and down. And the temperature of 700 degrees, they will pour the material. It comes to the normal temperature. Again, it goes up to 750 plus, again comes to the normal temperature. Because of that, there will be a thermal shock, and it lead to the sigma phase of the component, and it will lead to the cracks and punctures. Customer used to do repairing every 15 days alternative. So they'll get punctures, they'll put one patch. Again, they'll run it. The problem is the acrylite is very corrosive, and it is very dangerous because of the temperature. And if any punctures happens, there is a high chances that it's been spill out also. So not just the repairing cost is very negligible, but the problem is health issues and not safety. Again, it has to come back to the workshop for the repairing. We understand these applications. What we did, we checked the thicknesses, we removed the complete damaged areas, we rebuilt it with the thickness required for this component. Then we have done the repairing with our specialized welding overlay alloy called 622. It's a high nickel content electrode which has a highest elongation properties, and it can work up to 1000 degrees. So it doesn't react with the thermal shocks. If the thermal shocks goes up to 1000 degrees, it can come back also. It's not going to affect. So it will be withstanding what we given the one of the trials, and customer has got up to 4 years life. It has started from 15 days, and they have got the 4 years life, which means they can avoid complete repairing process, and the anytime the component will be available, and it's a one-time investment kind of things. So this is after 3 years. Now it's going to cross 4 years. Still is intact condition. You can see the weld bead also here. So the new component price is $30,000, and replacing every 2 years because of the patching they'll do. Again, they'll replace it. Repair intervals will be 15 days once. The price of repair and protective welding with Castolin will be 9,000. The current life, they are getting 4 years. So the benefits will be getting a new component and repairing components, labor cost, production loss altogether. Customer is going to get the huge savings by doing the protective, this kind of reclamations process. This is another very unique and very critical applications where customer about to throw this component. We told, don't throw, please give it us. Let's try to refurbish it and give it to you for the usages. So we have done one trial initially with our specialized product, and this is the result. So we almost given much better than the OEM what they supplied to them, with a better tungsten carbide cladding. So it is going to give them much better results. Then customer has changed complete one, and they change the complete system with our product. Now it is running very smoothly. And intermittent welding, they will do it with our specialized MIG process, tungsten carbide wire. So they are very happy. And another one of the OEM of the pump manufacturer, they got this issue, and this is the slurry pump where the fine solid material is passing through on this pipes pump, and they were about to scrap it. We have done the rebuilding of this component, and this is the result. Almost beautiful as the new one and much better than that. And there is always room for the improvement. So earlier we have used with the different alloys, then iron carbide and other things have been used. Then later we have improvised with the tungsten carbide cladding, which has a 70 HRC. It can take high erosion and corrosion also it can take care. And it has given exorbitantly very good life as compared with original OEM component. And this is one of the crusher rotor, and see the conditions. We have rebuilt it as per the template, and we have done the protective hot facing with the 4623i. It's a titanium alloy, which can take high impact applications. And this is the result. So we can manage the templates as per the original supply of this component. So you can bring back to the life of the component, and you can keep it for the inventory, or you can replace it. Again, you can do the refurbishment at your site, so that it can availability of the component will be always there, and it can be done at the site condition also. This is another applications where the crusher rotor for the cement industry. This is a condition, and side and complete this has been damaged. This is a outcome, final outcome. This is one of the very unique applications where one of the refinery customer was using this agitator for the mixing 70% solid hydrate. The original OEM from US, they have been charging $300,000 for the new component, and availability will be 54 weeks. So the customer cannot stop the plant until otherwise they have to order at least 1.5 years in advance so that it can be available at the site. So it was very challenging job where there is a hollow on the blade as well. You can see the hollow inside. So when you do the welding, there is a chances of bulging also, and it can change the shape. So what we did, we have taken the original component. We have the 3D scanning equipment in our facility. We completely scanned the component as per the original shape. The dimensions has been taken, and we have done the complete reverse engineering of this component. We are going to bring to the original shape, and earlier they were using the chrome oxide coatings. That customer earlier, they were doubtful about bring to the original shape first thing. Then we said, first we'll bring it to the original shape and we'll give the same chrome oxide coatings. We got it to the same shape. Customer is very happy. Now we have proposal for coating with high velocity oxyfuel coating, which is tungsten carbide coating, where it can give you minimum of 4 to 5 years as compared with OEM coating of chrome oxide, which is 2 to 3 years life. So not only just bring back to the original shape or giving you back, we'll be able to give you value addition by thinking about additional life of the component by different kind of technology adapting. That is also possible with Castolin. So other than this part of the world, we have an innovation on the maintenance and repair jobs. How is it possible? Like any of the pump or any of the component, which is really good shape, but only the thread has gone. You cannot throw it out. So what we can do is we have the titanium metal putty that can be mixed, and it can be used as applied, and rethread can be possible. So no need to throw that the component which is in very good shape only because of the rethreading was not possible, or any of these issues will be able to bring back to the shape by very high tensile strength of metal putty also we have. And also we have the fast curing putties where you have any kind of bypassing system, you won't be able to bypass the system where the material is spilling off. You wanted to immediately repair it. That is also possible with one of the technology with uh, metal putties, and also we have the wrap available. So that can be discussed separately if you are very interested, those parts. And this is one of the interesting component where it has been supplied by Japanese 45 years ago, and they don't know any composition of the component, and it is the only component available with them. Like that, there are 9 uh, thrust collars are available in the plant. So they don't want to touch by welding because there is a high chance any heat input are there. There's a high chance that it may crack also. Once it cracked, then they cannot use it. So they come to us and asking how we can repair this, and we given the specialized titanium metal putty. We have just undercut. We have done the metal putty applications, and we have done the machining. That was the first job we have done, and customer has shown the picture. After 3 years, this is the condition. And they went with another 9 numbers for our repairing, and they were using it now. So in terms of the welding, bracing, coatings, ceramic coatings, or thermal spray coatings, in terms of anything related to wear and tears, we'll be able to provide you such solutions. And another one of the steel plant applications, you can see the condition of the pumps, slurry pumps, which is collecting all the atmospheric fumes, which is very important. If this is not available in the plant, then environmental issue will come in the plant, because it will not be able to suck all the fumes on the atmospheric. Then it will be huge environmental issues. Then there is a high chances that not only only because of the small part, there is a high chance that they can stop the plant also because of the environmental issue. So it is one of the critical component. We have done the complete refurbishment, and we are giving to the customer as a complete turnkey job of including changing the ceiling and bearings and things, shafts, and we are assembling it, and we are giving them as a complete with a hydro test. We are giving them as a ready to use. And this is, we are talking about the environmental issues. Now, one more point is chrome plating. Chrome plating, one of the very hazardous process available for the piston rod coatings. But we have been using traditionally for so many years, almost 50 years plus. But we did not have any kind of options to go for any replacement earlier. Now, Castolin has come up with hard chrome alternative. Generally, how they do chrome plating, they take the shaft or piston, they will dechrome it by chemicals, again chrome it by chemical process, and again they will do the polishing, by which what is happening, the chemical cannot be disposable, very difficult. And now government is not giving any kind of new license for the chrome plating process because of the hazardous issues, and disposable is quite very difficult. Now Castolin has come up with a process where it can avoid chemical process, where we'll just strip off the existing chrome plating and we do the coating by chromium wire, but it can be done by automation process. So when the people is nearby the component, they can use a complete PPE, so they will not be having any issues. At the same time, this is not a chemical process, very safest process available, and this is how it will be done. This NDT, like we will do the pre-grinding and grid blasting. So we just spray the different kind of wires, which can give you much 3 to 4 times better life than chrome plating process. So this process or component we can give you as a complete packages also. We can supply the complete equipment, wires and technology know-how. If they are going to utilize it the plant where you have a lot of piston rods, where it giving to the other side, outside, you wanted to be available of this component or anything within the plant. This is really possible that we can give the equipment, technology know-how, wires, and we can give them the training also. That is also possible. So the life will be 3 to 4 times longer than chrome plating process, and environmental friendly and easy to use, very easy to do the process, and it can be supplied equipment, consumable plus technology also. This is called HCA, hard chrome alternative. So you can see the finishing, surface finish also. Surface finish will be excellent, and we can have the very good tolerance level for this process. And if you go with the HVF, the tolerance will be 0.03 to 0.05, and RA would be 0.2. And this process or this equipment can be used on the atmospheric corrosion problems. If you're using a normal corrosion paints in the market, it is getting corrosion again after 1 year or 6 months. You wanted to have any kind of solutions. We have very good solutions which will work as a cathodic protection of the component, and we can spray the aluminum, zinc, or different kind of wires which can completely protect your structurals. That is atmospheric, and also any seawater inlet pump valve. This is the butterfly valve, 8-inch valve, 80 inches valve. We have done for one of the power plant in Ruwais, and they were using the copper shim to protect this, but and it has got failed within a few months, and they come to us for the one of the solutions, and we given specialized coatings where it has ran almost 2 years, still it's in intact condition. Now what they do, when they're getting the new valve from the manufacturer, they are not just installing it, they are giving to us. We do the thermal spray coatings with the specialized wires, and they're taking it and they are using it in the plant. So similarly, even before putting it to the operations, we'll be able to do this kind of coatings, protective coatings or internal, external, based on this parameters required. We'll be able to choose wires and statement like job description, and we'll be able to do the job. And it can be available for the tanks also. Any of the tanks is getting corroded internally or outside, we'll be able to do coatings. And not only metallic, we have the corrosion coating for the concretes also. Any of the basin or a trench or any other component, the concrete getting acidic corrosions, we'll be able to repair that area, and we'll be able to give you the complete corrosion coatings on the base or the complete tanks as well. Not just a metallic, also for the concrete. And corrosion resistance coating on the structurals, chimneys, stackers, mufflers, and mufflers, all this. And as I mentioned, this one of the very good product being patented by Castolin. We called Castolin 680 CGS, or another product called 2222. This we call it Sarvaroga Nivaran in India, like one tablet for all your problems. Why? Because this electrode can join tool steel, magnet steel, stainless steel, low alloy steel, chromoly steel, carbon steel. Even on the top, you can see it's a file. That also can be weldable. So one electrode, being a process industry's expertise, you cannot keep all this for the different product for different electrodes in the stock. And one electrode can do all this welding, called 680 CGS, for the 3 layers are up to 15 mm, or with the temperature is less on this particular parameters. If the temperature is very high, up to 1000 degrees or any of the furnaces and other things, cracks are coming again and again. You can go with our 2222 and you can forget the crack. Once you do this crack, you can forget it. You'll never get the crack as such for this component. This is one of the very specialized applications globally we have done, and almost 40 years we are the masters of kill and tear crack repairs globally. You can see the depth of the crack, and we have checked the depth. It is almost 130 mm, and the length is almost 150 only, but we have done up to 1 meter also. We have gouged out until it reaches the base where there is no any cracks further. And our team will work day and night, and we'll keep the interpass temperature readily available, and we'll just do the complete rebuilding and grinding to the shape as per the rolling. So other than that, how we can improve other point of fuel efficiency, you can save by doing some kind of coatings, which can give you some kind of additional development. So always like necessity is the mother of invention, we call it. So we need to come up with something which is record for the future world. Now we have the oxygen hydrogen mobile unit where the bracing can be done without any gases. You may ask, how is it possible without gas you can do the bracing? This process, like what we do, this equipment being, we are using a distilled water as a fuel, just a distilled water. What is happening? It is being separated water and hydrogen, and you are going to get the hydrogen flame. And hydrogen flame doesn't have any odor or smell or color. So, and the end of the tip, you'll just need to get color or smell by adding the additive of acetone. That is the just a work. It is nowhere connected with the process of the getting this hydrogen flame. Sorry, hydrogen flame. So how is it happening? You can see this. No gas cylinders needed. Just a single phase connection for the mobile unit. If you have the industries, you can have the bigger unit by avoiding gases. So this is amazing, right? This equipment. So this has been launched in our France and it's very successful. And hopefully in our part of the world, I believe the gas cost will be very high. And by which using this equipment, you can even travel this equipment, you can carry this equipment in a vehicle also, car also. Where in the cylinders, it's not possible and it's not allowed to carry it in the our equipment, our vehicle, where you need to have this like a 1 ton or any other vehicles available. And you need to keep all the gases in safer side, and its site is very difficult, all this. But this is one of the safest mission available in the world and being introduced by Castolin for the smallest one. And we have the industry version also available where you can connect 3-4 torches where you'll be able to utilize for the industries of the heat exchangers or refrigeration industries. And life enhancement of recycling industries where you can use tire shredding or the metal shredding and concrete shredding or the grease trapping unit. We have the TIG process, MIG process, arc process, and coating process. We have a varieties of products, varieties of different waste energy applications. So we need to take some kind of calculated risk also for the innovations. As I mentioned about some of the specialist coatings are available where it can give you some kind of fuel savings when you do that. It's called the boilative coatings or reformative coatings or the reflex coating. So the product will be different, but the motive is to give you the fuel efficiency. So one thing about the boiler tip coating, we'll talk about only boilers now, especially for the boiler tip coating. If you have any coal fired boilers, CFB, what is happening due to the aggravate of the raw material, it is not just eroding the component of the boilers, which is lead to the leaks and other things, and it will problem with the fouling and choking problems, and it will have a lot of sticking issues where it can be avoided by doing our tube armor coating. The name itself self-explanatory, tube armor. When you do this coating, you can avoid complete material sticking of any component. At the same time, it can give you the power saving also. You may ask how the power can be saved by doing only just coating. You can see the video.
Please complete your presentation by 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's going to finish. Yeah. So Eutectic is one of our ancillary company which is running in US. So you can see when he was checking the temperature, that is atmospheric temperature of 7 degrees in US. Then the top pot is coated and bottom pot is not non-coated. So both he has done the heatings and check the temperature is almost 50 degrees. You'll be able to get savings. Why? Because not when there is a heat loss, obviously there will be a heat loss in the boilers, but it will not allow the material or the boilers to lose the heat. It will keep the heat within the system to increase the life, and also it can reduce the your fuels also. Fuel savings also possible. And the last point is we have very less time. I'll just go through. We have two types of coatings for the corrosion under insulations, especially on the traditional insulation methods, where sometimes you don't need to avoid, you don't want to change any new technology, but you wanted to protect the outside the pipe. We have the corrosion under insulations coating that is completely avoid corrosion on the outside pipe. Then you can go for traditional insulations. So we'll not know until unless the this one is ruptured because of the corrosion under insulations. So this is what generally they're using as a insulation materials. And what is happening? Jacket might break because of the various reasons. I'll just go faster. And because of water resources, maybe rainfall, steam discharge, or cooling draft, tower draft, or condensation. Because of that, there'll be atmospheric or like a moisture content within the minerals inside. That will lead to the corrosion. So what will happen after the corrosion? It leads to loss production or catastrophic failures and unexpected shutdown, and large maintenance budget also may happen because you need to stop bypass it line, or you have to outraise the line because of these issues. Where our polycell action technology, with this, we have a two product which can give you the coating outside the pipe. Then you can go for the traditional insulation, so you can completely avoid corrosion. Then we have the new technology called MechaGuard insulations coatings, where our 356 and 752 can be used up to 400 degrees of outside 400 degrees of pipes, where it is for the material transportations where the heat is required within the pipe. This can keep the temperature within the pipe. At the same time, this is like a brushable coatings, and it can completely avoid any corrosion and avoid complete traditional installations. And we have a thermal shock coating also, where you have the problem on the pipes where the temperature goes up, down because of thermal cycling. It can work from minus 196 plus 600 degree. Because of thermal shock, if you're getting corrosions, we have a coatings. And we have the color coatings also up to minus 196 plus to 650 degrees. So any color coating to be done where normal paint is getting fade. This coating will not get fade up to 650 degrees. It can be used, and you can change the colors as per your RIL. We can manufacture and give it to you, customized coloring product. And this is one of the unique product where it can be applied. The corrosion under insulation or insulation coating can be applied on site, like online. For example, the temperature of the current ongoing pipeline is 200 degrees. And our product can be just primed and hot application can be performed. By doing this, we have done the 5 mm coating, which is 3 coats of this, and they reduce the temperature 160 degree outside. Internally, the temperature will be as it is, what is needed for the system. Outside, you can have the safe touch of the property. It can be done online, 300 degrees also. If there is any pipeline, no problem. We can do online coating of the pipe to avoid complete thermal insulations with the traditional properties. And the life also will be up to 10 years. And if there is any inspection to be done, it can be removed and they can check the pipe thickness also, and you can do the recoating by yourself. We can give you some of the component within your facility that you can keep it, because it's a single component, it's not a mixed component, so it has a life is more. We can just mix it in and apply it, and it can be used. This is one of the new technology being used, and it has been used so many Shell and Sabic also has been done the trials, and now we are going to use one of the refinery in aluminum, and so many areas our customers are going for this kind of technology. And other than that, what we do the training programs for the engineers or the people, welders or maintenance M&R people, where you wanted to send the team to our facility in Dubai. You are welcome. We can have 3-day sessions, and we can work on the current, what is the parameters, what to be used, what is the product to be selected, whether the component can be repairable, or how we can judge. That also can be discussed in our facility. All this possible in our Dubai facility as well. And thank you so much.
Thank you, Engineer Selam. Very informative presentation.
Thank you.
And you have provided actually lots of solutions we face in the industries, the problem facing the industries, especially corrosion problem. And what you are saying that for industry, if we can refurbish the component and elongate the lifetime, it actually helps the environment. So resource optimization definitely helps the environment, reduce the carbon footprint.
Correct.
So we have got lots of solution, and especially very interesting clean fuel. You can use water. It's very interesting for me also. I am from chemical engineering background. Okay, so I can see that here lots of engineers are here, mechanical engineer, and you will get lots of question. I have also some question, but before asking a question, I can go to the audience to get some question. So please raise your hand so we can you can introduce yourself and ask question.
Okay, I'm Reza Rahman. I work in, I'm the organizer of BEAWorld and working in AECOM Middle East. My question is not for the training. My question is this: is your presentation we can share in our group or in our platform?
Sure.
Okay, in this case, can you share the PDF copy? To Rafiqul, and then we can share. Thank you very much for your excellent presentation.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Hope you're able to understand all the points has been discussed. Any other questions? and some of them are asking during that time.
Yeah. Engineer Al Imran, please unmute and question. Yeah.
Hello, good evening. This is Al Imran Hussain, mechanical engineer. So
Yes.
basically, we are working in fire pump and steel structure and other things also. Especially what you have already shared, those all are our problem. So I am so surprised, even I'm so astonished. This kind of solution we have in, but in
Existing.
Bangladesh is not available. So I am so much interested. I think. I'm talking about. Can you tell me more about the one flux can weld at five category of steel? So can you give me
Yes.
more details information about this matter?
Yeah, definitely. Sure, Mr. Alaman. We'll share with you. And we have a lot of case studies, especially for what are the cast steel or manganese steel, carbon steel, or joining dissimilars. We have a lot of methods and details available. We'll share with you.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Any other question from the audience?
And
Then
there was
I can start my question and let's see if other asks or raise their hands. Okay, we can see one.
Tariq.
Engineer Tariq is here. Please.
Yeah, hello.
Hi.
Thank you. Yeah, very valuable presentation to especially the mechanical field and industry. So I like to request you say many facility have to Dubai.
Yeah.
In future, have you any plan to in Bangladesh that type of any facility, any workshop?
Currently, we have the partner available where they will have
Yeah.
the Castol Lab soon. Probably my Mr. Mayank will be able to answer. And as long as if you have any kind of things to be done, obviously we'll be able to have the kind of joint venture for the workshop, and we can give the technology know-how, and we'll be able to do that. Obviously, Mr. Mayank is already working on that, and with one of the partner, and
Yeah.
he'll be able to provide the value addition within
Yeah.
Bangladesh itself. Not just
Actually,
because
we have a local workshop, Shimbu, there in
okay,
Bangladesh, Pragati Engineer. Okay, so
okay,
we
Yes.
do the fabrication jobs as well as we also do the welding jobs there in this workshop. Okay, but right now we don't have any setup of the coatings and all. Okay, but we are planning to bring it that as well. Okay, so
okay.
if you have
Yeah.
any requirement related to the weldings or coatings or
Hmm.
maybe like wear resistant plates and all, so we can do the fabrication, we can do the maintenance jobs in that workshop in Bangladesh.
Yes, thank you. I already visit the Pragati engineering, but the
Okay.
engineering facility like your any kind of like recover the um, welding and other things is not available. So I
Uh-huh.
think hopefully the next time we early arrange that kind of facility in our Bangladesh. Thank
Yeah,
you.
he is our new partner only in Bangladesh. So
Yeah,
he
yeah.
is now just developing all the things. Yeah. So maybe in couple of months, then you can see that
Thank you.
with them.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Any more question?
22 people are there, I believe.
Okay, so I can start with my first question. You were talking about the welding fume.
Yeah.
We know that chromium 4 is very hazardous for work health. So worker exposed to this environment is harmful. So you
Yes.
said that your welding is safer and it can reduce the exposure. So is it because of different materials or how?
Yes. What we did, we have done so many R&Ds, and we eliminated the chromium nickel. Especially, we are talking about only hot facing here, not the joining and all. We are talking about only hot facing where the wear problems are there. So we have come up with a new product where we have eliminated the chromium and nickel, which is very important for hardness.
Mhm.
That's how all the companies being used to chromium. That chromium will be contented, like it will create the chromium carbide to get the hardness. So we removed that product and we given another. We have used a different product which is not harm to the people, and at the same time not compromising on the quality or the hardness of the alloys. So we have come up with a new technology which our R&D department is not disclosing because we have invented, and it is free of chromium nickel, and it can
It's
be avoid any kind of the chromium 4 issues, which is the GAG7 and this one that will lead to a lot of problems. So
okay.
we have come up with this, and we will not compromising on the quality and the life of the component. At the same time, it is really good for the welders, especially the welders being used. This kind of cart facing might be used on the confined space. So what will happen in the confined space? Not all the companies will not have the exhaust systems or the good system to have removal of all this one. Obviously, there will be a fumes they will inhale. So this will reduce or eliminate this kind of issues.
Okay, thank you. That means you are eliminated that hazard.
Yes,
It's not only it's not reducing, it's eliminating the hazard. So that's
eliminating,
very,
eliminating.
yeah. Okay, so another question is especially for corrosion protection when
Yes,
you do the refurbishing job.
correct.
In corrosion protection, when you introduce heterogeneity, it will increase the chance of or risk of corrosion. So when you are refurbishing, you are introducing heterogeneity. So how it reduce the corrosion rate?
In terms of the corrosion, you're talking about the heat transfer.
No, heterogeneity, because you are introducing when is homogeneous in metal structure, you are introducing some new
Correct, correct,
metal to make a refurbishing component, for
correct,
example, the
correct.
book component. So
Yes.
it will increase, it's supposed to increase the risk of corrosion hazard.
No, sir.
Uh,
What we do actually, we are not doing the metallurgical bonding. For the corrosions, we are using a mechanical bonding. There are three types of bondings are there. Only metallurgical, where welding will be fused and it will be diluted with the base material. When it happens, then it has to be compatible what we are using the product and this. But where it comes to the mechanical bonding, you don't need to have any kind of issues with the base material. It immaterial. The base material is irrespective of any base material, you'll be able to do the coating because it's going to be only mechanical bonding. So in terms of that, you're not going to touch or it's not going to affect any of the base material structurals. It will not affect at all. We are just doing the protective coating where it will be having the up to 10,000 psi of the coatings. At the same time, it will just having some kind of protection, and it's not going to affect of your base material thickness at all. And it's a cold process. When you do this HVTS, high velocity thermal spray, it's a cold process where it will not have any heat input to the base. And even after the coating, literally you can touch the surface. It will be less than 100 degrees and it's already cured. When you spray, it will be automatically cured. It's not like a ceramic coating. So it will not have any kind of corrosion aggravation after the coatings. It will protect, and it is adding the new metal on the top of it. So once it reaches that, after a couple of years or after 5 years, when you feel that the coating thickness is gone, after 250 or 700 microns you have used, and it's become 300 or 200 microns, again you can do the blasting and you can do the recoating. So by which you are going to keep the base material of the mother plate kept alive. It is going to be the same.
So when we are using this refurbishing component, is it okay for using in high pressure condition?
Yes, yes, sir. You can. And this has been already proven, and we are being used in so many Saudi Aramco and so many other very petrochemical industries where the safety measurements and other things is highly, very, very high. So they will not just like that allow this kind of coatings as long as the bonding and other things are going to affect or having a problem with disbondment. It is going to affect the complete productivity and issues on the plant. So we have done so many R&Ds. We have tested, and they have been using almost 1.5 years, one of the sampling plate specimen, and then only they gone for this kind of coatings.
Okay, so actually this is the common problem in Bangladesh also. People
Yes.
likes to replace the component rather than refurbishing the component. So
Correct.
I think in chemical and oil and petrochemical industry,
Correct.
this corrosion is a very common problem for us
Yes.
also. So yeah, definitely you can come to Bangladesh and organize a workshop, 2 or 3 days workshop to explain this. And I think this would be very fantastic. So I will ask audience to question if you have more, or we have to
Wind up. Yeah.
interrupt today's presentation. So any question from the audience, we can take one or more, 1 or 2. Okay, so no more question, I think. So
Yeah.
I will go for our closing session. I will request Engineer Amjad Hussain Khan, organizer BEAWorld, to say few words to us. Engineer Amjad Hussain Khan, are you there?
Hello, good evening. Yes, I am audible.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, I would like to thanks firstly as an organizer of this BEAWorld, today's our speaker, and also today's special guest. Actually, the engineer Rafiqul Talukder, our advisor, also chief guest is there. So I am not going to tell anything today. So I want to just only listen to them, that their experience and their also advices from this session. Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Engineer Amjad Hussain Khan. I will request Engineer Rezaur Rahman, founder of BEAWorld, to say few things about today's presentation.
Yeah, thank you very much, Dr. Easir, for your excellent moderation. And thank you very much, Mr. Engineer Chilamparasan,
Yes, sir.
for your very technical and enjoyable and very technical issues highlighted in your presentation. I believe it will be very useful for Bangladesh. And we just formed last year this BEAWorld, and we encourage all global talent. It is open for all, so it is open for you also from our side. If anything, we can say, if any support is required, we are ready to support.
Yes, sir.
So for any organization or any engineers, architect, we are open to all.
Okay.
So we know that we are living in the global society, and knowledge has no boundary. So you're always welcome, and thank you very much, today's chief guest, Engineer Mohan Sarkar, for your valuable time, and to Engineer Rafiqul Talukder, the session chairman. Thank you very much, all participants, for joining today. Thank you.
Thank you, Engineer Rezaur Rahman. I will request Engineer Moazzam Hussain, advisor, BEAWorld, and president of Bangladesh Association, UAE. Engineer Moazzam Hussain.
I believe Engineer Moazzam Hussain is not available now.
Okay, then I will request now our today's program chief guest, Engineer Monirujjaman Sarkar Mohan, Chairman UAE chapter and advisor of BEAWorld. And Chairman IEB UAE chapter. Please, our chief guest, Engineer Mohammad Monirujjaman Sarkar.
Yeah, Assalamu alaikum. So, on behalf of IEB UAE chapter and on behalf of BEAWorld, many thanks for arranging this session, and thanks to everyone. And special thanks to today's speaker, Engineer Chilamparasan, Manager Castolin, Middle East. And many thanks to Session Chairman, Engineer Rafiqul Talukder, Vice President, IEB UAE chapter, and thanks Moderator, Dr. Easir Arafat, Associate Professor, Department of Chemical Engineering, BUET. And thanks to organizers of BEAWorld to arrange like these special sessions. So I will request Mr. Chilamparan to take like this session and to give like this presentation in future also.
Definitely, sir. Sure.
So we can hope like this,
Yeah.
and we will
Madam.
be benefited for like this session.
Definitely, sir. We'll do that.
And next session, I am requesting to you just focus to the reduce of carbon emission.
Yeah.
So many important topics are there. Suppose we can reduce the carbon emission by using energy efficient appliances and lightings, and by renewable energy, and especially in future how we can develop solar energy or renewable energy. You know that solar energy we are getting in the daytime.
Yeah.
So very important to storage this power which we can use in night. So just take another session to storage this energy by battery, and I think it is a special type of battery, very just a high power battery that will be very benefited in future. So thanks everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks to attend this session. So we'll meet inshallah next session. So good night. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Engineer Munizzaman Sarkar, Chairman IBUE chapter, our chief guest of today's session. We are almost end of our program. Now I will request our session chair, Engineer Rafiqul Islam Talukder, to close, to say a few things and close the session.
Okay, thank you, and good evening, everybody. Dr. Yasir Arafat Khan. Dr. Yasir Arafat Khan, he is the head of the technical session. Today, our moderator. Thanks for your nice moderation, organizing this program. And I would like to thanks to our chief guest, Engineer Munizzaman Sarkar Mohan, our chairman, IB Dubai chapter, advisor BEAWorld, for your valuable time. Thanks our founders, Engineer Rajaur Rahman, organizer, Engineer Amjad Hussain. Particularly thanks to our speaker today, Engineer Chilamparasan, for your valuable time. I know you are very busy, so you have made some time for us for your busy schedule. And thanks your team, okay, attending with us from Bangladesh and from elsewhere. So it is we are really very much honored and excited to be here with you. And today, particularly, this presentation is very valuable presentation for the process industry, petrochemical industry, even power plant also. So a lot of innovative idea. You are not, Castolin is not a service provider, not only service provider, they are also solution provider, okay, in terms of carbon footprint reduction, environment friendly, okay, their solution. And the reverse engineering, I will tell, reverse engineering lead to reverse climate change. So reverse engineering for reversing climate change. So your voice, your presentation, I believe reflects that. So reverse engineering for reversing climate change. That should be your future slogan. Okay. And I have seen the clean energy example, what you mentioned about that. In future, we are going to replace the oxy-acetylene cylinder by the clean fuel, where you are using the water. From the water, you are generating hydrogen and oxygen. That is being used for gas welding. Okay, fantastic. Really, it is a really innovative idea in terms of carbon emission reduction. So that should be introduced very fast. That clean fuel we need everywhere to save our climate, to reduce the global warming, to reduce the carbon footprint. And what Mr. Manoj Sarkar mentioned about the store our another green energy from the solar energy. I hope in future Castolin will add this technology also to their service and to their fleet. And I see the thermal insulation. It is also innovative idea. Normally we're using for the thermal insulation glass wool, ceramic fiber, carbon silicate board that are very hazardous in terms of health, safety, and environment. So that is being replaced by your thermal insulation solution. It is also very dramatic invention by Castolin. And in future, you see our audience, they raise the questions, and your product and your service is very much required to Bangladesh, as because in Bangladesh a lot of process industry there, particularly the fertilizer industry plant is there, power plant is there, cement industry is there, where corrosion and erosion is the big challenge, where we need to reduce the downtime and increase the stream days. So where we want to just increase the life of the equipment. So it is very challenging to change on equipment in terms of money and in terms of mobilization. Suppose an equipment, 100-ton equipment, it's very difficult. It's not for one equipment, one plant remains down long years, some 10 years, 15 years. Finally, plants getting abandoned due to the one equipment. If that equipment can be restored using your solution, by your high velocity thermal spray system or high velocity oxyfuel SBOF, whatever it is, using the tungsten carbide coating, using the chromium nickel coating, so that can increase the life of the equipment, that can save the money. That can save the money by replacement of our valuable equipments. So this sort of solution is very much important for our country, for the industrial growth. In future, you will build up your facilities as our needed. So you can make an assessment in Bangladesh. You can make an evaluation. What service, what demand is required. So you have to provide the service as per our demand and requirement. I hope in near future, your company will make an audit. What kind of service is required from Castolin? Accordingly, you can build up and you can mobilize your services establishment to Bangladesh. Okay.
Sure,
With these few words, I am to conclude my presentation, my lecture here, my speech here, and last but not the least, the audience who have been with us now in Bangladesh 11:20 almost. So thanks for your patience hearing, and thanks for being with us. We'll see you in the next session. And again, thanks to the Chilamparasan, thanks to your company, and thanks to your company. All the best.
Thank you so much, everyone, for this opportunity. Thank you all.
Thank you all.
See you.
Yeah. Bye. See you
Thank
all.
you. Thank you all. Good night. Bye.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night. Okay. All the best.
Good night. Bye.